Hi, beautiful beings of light. This is Yana, and welcome back to my YouTube channel here in the month of June of 2022. So, again, the energies, whether intense, also very interesting, lots of AI going on. It means, we're dealing with this AI hybrid nanotechnology, so called the virus, right? And so many people are feeling all kinds of symptoms, right? Whether those are ascension is part of the ascension symptom, part of the evolution, part of also being in touch with our galactic star family. They have spaceships, spacecraft, so it has to do with the AI. Our goal here, or even kind of the deal here, is: are we connecting to our heart, to our soul, through our Holy Father or Holy Mother? Okay, this inner Christos, right? That inner Christ, that inner spirit, right? So then we can reconnect with either our higher self, our higher senses, extrasensory perceptions, right? And really meeting our star family, galactic family in those higher dimensions, whether physically or kind of having also out of body experiences or through our dreams. Okay, remember, we're multidimensional beings. Or are we disconnected from our heart, from our feelings, from our intuition, really not paying attention to this whole situation, not doing the research, not doing integration, meditation? You're not really being in nature, right? And anyway, I'll go over the Ascension protocol. It means just kind of ignoring what is happening and what is transpiring, not seeing it for what it is, right? So many people, like I said, this mind control has been happening, but people want to be in that comfort zone and don't want to really deal with now what is really happening, or what is coming to the surface. Okay, so then that's the metaverse, and that's pretty much the path to self-destruction. But at the same time, the energies are so intense that even the dark heads or people who are still shoving things under the carpet, there may be all these triggers and situations that will pull them and bring them to the other side. But again, it will be according to how they really want to then change the frequency vibration. Guys, with the Ascension protocol, right, we are raising the frequency vibration and raising our light quotient. Okay, and also we have the particle chakras, but I work with the anti-particle chakra, and especially the ninth chakra, right? That's actually already density number 3. That's the higher brain function. Okay, that's why we work with the Vat flame. Again, when you Ascension glossary, you guys, you can go Google that, and you can this is the universal time matrix, right? All because we are ascending, we're leaving this ego, like the 3D, the personality, just the density, because of the corruption of the falseness, right? Because we've been stuck here, we've been blocked. The original design for the angelic divine human beings, even though being here in this physical plane, we still would have a direct connection to cosmos, right? To the solar rishis, right? But because of the frequency fences and all these pollution and corruption and running the reversals and inversions, right? We were stuck here in this so-called darkness, or in this underworld, right? And so we are exiting this, right, as we are as we're transitioning to the next octave, harmonic universe number 2, soul connection, consciousness expansion. But those indigo races and highly evolved souls, volunteer souls, right? We already came from higher dimensions, meet connection with the solar rishis, right? We're bringing ourselves back into our avatar selves, right? That's the 10D, 11D, 12D, as we're dealing with aliens and their AI, nanotechnology, exotic weapons, psychotronic weapons, right? Especially the Dracos running the base 10 mathematics, like I already mentioned. And let me see, we need to go back to that original tree of life, okay, the original Merkaba, because you can see these artificial people, right, or clones, or whatever you even see in the high echelons and the political arena, or even like the military, pharma, science, technology. I mean, you see now who is who, right? Who is hooked to AI, and we had I talk about those global organizations, those globalists or the elite, right, of the dark fleet. I mean, pretty much under the influence of the Dracos. And, we talk about the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization, the Davos Group, right, the United Nations. I mean, they'll be sorting to me, like even the June and the energy that I'm feeling, because yesterday my friend, we were walking on the beach, the dead fish, there was a dead fish everywhere, but it's a beautiful, like beautiful ocean with this crystalline energies. But it's true, the sun was beautiful, but the sky, it was like an AI firmament, guys. So no more return to the so-called normal, and it is sorting out, what is it, the wheat from chaff. Okay, and everything, what we do, who we are, everything is being monitored and surveillance, whether from the good guys or bad guys. And it's really now like seeing the results, who was aligning with the good, and who really was aligning with the kind of still with the dark agenda. And you can see it in all places now, the entire infrastructure, and even in family structure and societal structure, talk about the political and financial structure, right? And now you see the news, even some stuff coming up in MSM, all kind of mainstream media, right? So things are transpiring. Supposedly there's supposed to be some kind of UFO now movie, I guess declassifying all these things that has were supposed to be declassified back then, right after World War II. So many things, like I said, coming to the light, and for us to embrace, to see it for what it is. So today I have, we will do some also chanting, working with the Violet Flame, guys. The transformation, transmutation, that's the work that I do. Self-exploration, all about understanding yourself. Know that kingdom of heaven is within, right? Because how we see the outside is actually projection of us, right? It's our consciousness. It's a level of our consciousness. It shows us where we are. So very important for us, through that breath, we can always detach, right? Just be the witness, just observe. And guys, that's what I kind of already as a teenager in my 20s, I was like, yeah, you just the third person, just watching, observing, not being engaged. But of course, I was in and off. Or in and out, from this kind of philosophy for a couple of decades, right? Even ahimsa, non-harmfulness, it means do no harm, right? Non-harm, non-violence. But how is it, if you have this warrior nature and all these kind of interesting experiences and all these experimentations going on, and MK Ultra is going on, and electrocutions going on, and it's just like, where is the information? So that's where I'm coming from, guys. I want to give you as much information as possible. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, so take it step by step. My website, yanakalai.com, is a little bit, simple, archaic. As you see, I'm not an IT girl, okay? But I'm trying to give it some kind of structure, some kind of flow. So, see what feels right for you. And yeah, we're pretty much, we have to, those here on a special mission, we have to start exposing things, right? The disclosure has to do with disclosure, exposure, and information, education. I have the Guardian Protocol for the Ascension, whether it's for my soul group or those who resonate with my message, okay? And it's just, the work we have to do, because we've been here in this kind of prison planet, here in this matrix, the false reality, the computer simulation, for quite some time. I would say, if even for thousands of years, okay? And now especially, the agenda from, the elite of the negative fleet really was amplified after World War II, right? And just talk about the New World Order, and not really telling us the truth, the public, the treaty with the Greys, or with the Zetas, with the Orion group, trading humans for highly advanced technology. So here we're driving some cars, and the prices of gas are rising up. Supposedly a war over there, right? In Ukraine, while they have spacecrafts, right? Anti-gravity technology or reverse engineering technology flying to the moon, Mars, because yeah, there are traits. There are off-world colonies, okay, even like the Antarctica, right? And some of those are portals, and unfortunately infiltrated, invaded by those negative aliens, like the Antarctica, right? Portal to the other dimensions, to that inner Earth. And underneath Mount Shasta, guys, I've been talking about it for quite some time. There is this portal, right? Also portal to the inner Earth, the Telosians, right? Or the Carthians, the good ones, helping us, the benevolent ETs, helping us with this ascension, because, it's been too much, all the lies and deceptions, right? We are going back to whether, the a return to Atlantis. There are so many, like return to Atlantis, or for me also Lemuria, the divine feminine. Atlantis more is like the divine masculine, and those were timelines. Those were the golden ages of the highly advanced civilizations, right? Floating cities and spaceships and spacecrafts and levitation and teleportation and bilocation. So we need to claim our power back, resurrect all these psychic abilities, open our third eye, decalcify the pineal gland, right? And remembering our true divine nature. I mean, those who were also high priests, high priestesses back then in Atlantis, Lemuria, or even ancient Egypt. Again, I don't talk about the black magicians or Aleister Crowley, okay, and all these demonic activities or criminal activities. I talk about the true angelic divine luminous beings, okay, with 12 strands of DNA, and of course other civilizations. There were all kinds of colonies, guys, here. Even this planet Earth, or Tara, or Gaia, in that third density, right? It's a hub for interstellar, intergalactic, intercosmic travel, okay? This is like a meeting point of all the races here. And back then, million years ago, right, we had the Tarusian race that was formed, right? This really the humans, with the best DNA, babies of the universe, being here in that physical form, but at the same time having the direct connection to the divine, not only experiencing our soul, connection to our soul, but also our monad, our oversoul, and even our avatar self, beloved mighty I am presence, and having also direct connection to our Holy Father, Holy Mother, to the Rishi sages of the Himalayan mountains, right? This cosmic solar Christos dragons, okay? So that's, who do you think Yahshua was praying to when he said, or when he was saying, this is not me, this I do this work through my Father, our Father. Those are our founder Christos races, and he was a yogi. Yes, he was meditating. He did ascend it through the portal in Giza, in those ancient pyramids, okay? That was the Ark of Covenant. Guardian material, Ashayana talks about it, even though her information may be now kind of outdated in a way, and all kinds of things happening. That's why I transitioned to the information of Lisa Renee. That's energetic synthesis. Again, guys, this is what I resonate with. Remember, my information comes from my soul signature, energy signature, through my operational systems. How you guys then interpret what I'm sharing with you becomes your world, your reality, okay? We all come from one, but at the same time, we're all unique. So find your puzzle piece, or that niche, find your true identity here in this ocean of all that is. And the protocol, right, of the 5D protocol, was it the practice of the evolving self, again, telos, right? Asking yourself each and every day, right, instead of going to job from 8 till 5. And I know we all have to pay our bills, right? It's a struggle, but at the same time, we came here to experience our joy, experience our gifts and talents, and especially during the ascension and transition process and all this transformation happening, right? I'm on that kind of transformational timeline or work that I do, right? Why did we come here? It's like, what is our mission, right? Good gifts and talents, who am I? Asking yourself, who am I? Who am I? Okay, just the body, or we're consciousness, we're awareness, we're all that is. Like, even this is a technology, this body, right? Talk about those 5 elements, 5 platonic solids, okay? And now with the unity meditation, we are changing the carbon-based DNA into crystalline DNA, to crystalline heart, and the plasma light body, and our skull or brain full of light, right? And cleansing, clearing our chakra column, guys, with that sacred geometry, right? That's in our DNA. And that's the astral plane. And that's, unfortunately, like I said last time, we were hexed and hijacked, even our soul energy, right? That soul matrix, with all these inserts and the dark forces through the black magic and sodomy, okay, and all this sorcery. It damaged our DNA, our bioneurology, and disconnected us from God, from source. So we're the food source for whether the Dracos, the Draconians, and other negative aliens with their negative agenda, okay, and we're just pretty much their batteries, and and just doing all kinds of experimentations, right? And like in the military, what I've experienced, okay. So these are, we have to be careful, like we have to be very careful, right? So we're implementing the Galactic Codex, Divine Intervention. The good ETs are helping us, right, with this whole liberation of the planet, just restoration of our consciousness, rehabilitation of our DNA, right? Cleansing, helping us to cleanse our water and soil, ocean, atmosphere, just imagining the bright future with our true star family, galactic family. Okay, this is now the way to go. And so this is how I feel the whole June thing, being co-creative and being playful, being thankful, grateful, right? It's part of the 5D Ascension protocol. We're walking the energies of love and faith and trust and grace and gratitude, okay? Because time to also manifest our true divine destiny. And like I said, the bifurcation of consciousness, huge, okay? Whether the metaverse, right, the self-destruction, all this resistance, negativity, right, the fighting over this entire solar system, this galaxy, right? That's the agenda of those negative ones. We have the controlling group, right, the Cabal, the Illuminati. But so many of those families, they didn't even agree to be in this kind of hologram, with that kind of timeline, dissension timeline and destruction timeline, and harming humanity and animals and plants and the entire planet. Okay, so there's so many layers, and just there's so much going on, like behind the scenes, and also all these transformation, reformations, and now we have to also kind of focus on that polarity integration, right? Whether it's the Gemini or that Trinity, right? Because if people experiencing chaos and confusion, people are split. So many people are split right now with the Gemini and the sorting out things. Really, who is choosing the Ascension timeline and who is choosing the dissension timeline. And there are also people in between and trying to go from one side to another, and some of them are on automatic pilot, right? They just not able, all this hypnosis, being in trance, and the mind control, the MK Ultra, because the Dracos, like I said, they're extremely psychic with their psionic abilities. They were playing with human mind for quite some time, and also those negative aliens, right? They were also up to here to destroy the Christos founder races, or those who represent that kind of consciousness, that lineage. So we are in a psychological spiritual warfare. And so that's why just being nice to each other, just love yourself, take care of yourself, very important. The forgiveness, right? The forgiveness and the compassionate heart is that, you know, that's those are the loving energies, right? And you feel the suffering of all that is, you feel the connectedness of all that is. Again, law of correspondence. We can go over so law of mentalism as well, because I was inviting you to think, right? The what is it? The food for thought. Like, what do you think? These entities, humans, not humans, right? The Dracos, lizards, think those. Was the World Health Organization, United Nations, and all these kind of things. Those who are promoting the jab companies, or talking about all these viruses and Wuhan and China. What do you think that kind of consciousness that they are representing? What is their lifestyle, right? Do they have connection to God, to Source? You know, are they aligned with our Father's will and Father's law? Do they understand universal law? So they think they're above the law and kind of abusing the highly advanced technology, and of course, you know, the abuse of power and authority in those extremely high positions, right? It's unfathomable. That's why I created the credo for the New Earth jurisdiction. There's a lots of material I studied from some of the lawyers here, or those who are promoting the original, not promoting, I mean, to teach about the original constitution of 1776. And then of course the vocabulary from Lisa Renee, and just kind of I put it all together because, you know, it's also based on my direct experiences. I know what it is, how it is to be abused and violated and attacked, and the energy being siphoned, and also how to be under the spell, all this black magic thing for quite some time, right? Starting even in Eastern Europe back then, but it was just not that really, it was not that intense, like when coming over here to United States and dealing with the entire military, especially military industrial complex and military industrial extraterrestrial complex, and then learning all the secrets behind the government, or in the government, even Kathy O'Brien, right, who was a sex slave in White House, and her story and her testimony. And so she has the book PTSD Time to Heal. It's part of my Ascension protocol, as the or the Guardian protocol. Okay, guys. So it's time to really wake up, right? Kundalini, rising, awakening, guys. Working with these energies, you know, sacred geometries. Okay. Breathing, yoga, 8 steps of yoga. Again, part of my Ascension protocol, and you know, everything that kind of I created back then for the military, I am resurrecting all that energy from project from that project for veterans, for the military, you know, with yoga, ayurvedic massages, cooking, 8 steps of yoga, breathing, chanting, working with chakras, cleansing the chakras, or working with crystals. Okay. And now the invocation of the violet flame. Well, thank you, Saint Germain. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. So let me see. Let's do some prayers, and let's do some chanting, because the work that I do now, it's to me, it's extremely essential. Releasing everything of that old, because we are leaving the matrix. Yeah, the life will never be the same. The life will never be the same. This whole so-called pandemic with the virus, with the AI, with the nano, with all this exposure, disclosure, things are surfacing with those gamma rays frequencies, with this new cosmic plasma grid, and all these light codes coming in, all these activations, guys. Me also having nausea and all kinds of things happening, or eating less and less. Sometimes I need to eat so I can ground myself, so I can go to my part-time job, so I can pay some of my, you know, some of my bills. Okay, so we have to be strong warriors, right? Spiritual warriors, warriors of light, truth, and justice. So again, bring yourself into a comfortable position. Focusing on your breath. Long deep inhalation. Long deep exhalation. You pause in between. Inhale love and light. And just exhale everything that you don't need anymore. As the stress and tension, chaos, confusion, indecision, these misqualified energies, the miasma, all these attachments, emotional imbalances, mental disturbances. Key is to acknowledge it. When you acknowledge it, ask for help. Just, you're releasing it. It's flowing away. Make sure your spine is straight. Third eye, the pineal gland. Guys, that's your 9th chakra. 8th chakra, that's your higher heart. 9th chakra, the higher mind. That's how you connect to the cosmos. Those are now anti-particle chakras. The tongue is touching the upper palate for, like I said, better the circulation is coming in, right? The circuitry, the meridian structure, where's the belly button or your third eye, just kind of touch it, pull it, push it. Feel your flow, your chi, your prana, your energy coming back online. Remember, we're sound, light, frequency, vibration. Listening the solfeggio tones just to kind of rebalance your energy, so you're like the beautiful instrument playing a beautiful music. And then joining people who are on the same page, same path, right? So we can create this beautiful orchestra, beautiful melody. That's the heart resonance. It's part of our healing, of our evolution, consciousness expansion, feeling our multidimensionality. Abandoning that mind control, that falseness, right? All these lies and deceptions. You see everything for what it is. And we're shining the light. Look at the column of light shining bright. So only the truth remains. Because only the truth will set us free. Also focus on your heart or your higher heart. Just call upon your soul. It's a beautiful, bright, white light energy descending upon you. And connecting with your heart center. And surround yourself with those beautiful energies of unconditional love, of your heart, of your soul. Transforming, transmuting, and just removing everything that you are not. Transforming, transmuting the negative ego. The This negativity. The lust and greed and hate and jealousy and envy. Even the predatory mind, right? It all needs to be transformed, transmuted. See this beautiful bright light descending over you and over your mind. It's your third eye, through your crown chakra. Just cleansing, clearing, purifying this whole dogma, this old belief system, this old programming, conditioning, all these limiting thoughts, limiting ideas. Doesn't serve us anymore. All these projections from the astral, from others. Right, we are transforming, transmuting all that, sending it back to source. And surrounding ourselves with those beautiful energies of your heart, of your soul, of your higher self, of your oversoul, which is the monad, and of your avatar self. Your entire body is being enveloped by that energy of that unconditional love, pure energy of Christos Sophia consciousness. You can see yourself also in that triangle of the white light with Solar Christ, Archangel Michael, God's law, God's will, for your protection. We talk about the 5D, the 12D shielding, or you can the 5D protection. From your guides, angels, archangels. You have the solar rishis here. So the Divine Feminine, Holy Mother, Holy Mother, Divine Mother, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. These beautiful beings from the seventh dimension, the unicorns. And of course, Commander Sananda Yashua. With the Lord's Prayer. Abhunda Bashmanit Ka Dashamoch Tetema Kutach Nehwe Tibiana Aikananda Bashma Ahbar Hablan Lach Marasun Kanan Yomana Washbuklan Hobain Waktain Aikanadaf Kanan Shochan Lahayabain Wala Tahlan Lanasuna Elapatsan Min Bisha Mitul de Lachamal Kuta Wahil Lavatashbukta La Alam Almin. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, as we forgive those. And please forgive us trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Deliver us from evil. Right? Lord will never lead us into temptations. There are temptations around us, but that's why we need to be in our core, in our strength. Activating our DNA, activating our plasma light body. The Lord is our shepherd. I shall not be want. Beloved and presence bright, around me seal your tube of light. From ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I'm calling forth wildfire to blaze and transmute all desire. Keeping on in freedom's name till I'm one with the vast flame. Beloved, I'm presence bright, round me seal your tube of light. From ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I'm calling forth wildfire to blaze and transmute all desire. Keeping on in freedom's name till I'm one with the vast flame. Beloved and presence bright, round me seal your tube of light. From ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I'm calling forth wildfire to blaze and transmute all desire. Keeping on in freedom's name till I'm one with the vast flame. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'm a being of earth fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of earth fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of earth fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of earth fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of earth fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of earth fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of earth fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of earth fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of earth fire. I am the purity God desires. Amen. Alleluia. Amen. So bring lots of cosmic energies here for you guys, for your activation, for your healing, helping you to, detox, all this cleansing, clearing, so we can exit. Just leave that old paradigm behind as we are shifting and transitioning, ascending to the next octave. Harmonic universe number 2, soul connection, consciousness expansion, living in peace, harmony, unity, balance. Christos Sophia consciousness. Soul light, soul light. Very important also for those indigo warriors, right? We're doing the transformation, transmutational work, and from all these lunar forces, right? That was even our second chakra has been impaired from all this the AI satellite on the moon, all the sex misery machine, and all these, it was sex addictions and so on. So we are solarizing our genitals, okay, our reproductive organs, especially this chakra, right? Now turning into a kind of golden orange, okay, golden orange color of that new frequency, new paradigm, okay, new earth, of the new earth, with our chakras being updated, upgraded, synchronized, aligned. And that's how we form the column of light. We're the column of light shining bright. Let me see, this is compassion, Kuan Yin here, and here's the ascension. This is the ascension, guys, bringing those solar energies here back online. Of course, I have to ground myself. I'm grounding myself, going to nature, or eating, right, some superfood and rice crackers, just kind of grounding myself, because with all these activations, the plasma frequencies, I mean, we can go to the infinite one. I mean, now the cosmic portals and the Cosma light grid and all these frequencies, they're pouring down into this new grid, right? This the human heart grid, of this unconditional love of the 5D, of the 5D earth. Okay, so we're even upgrading that, energizing it with those cosmic energies here, guys. So the ascension is happening, right? And of course, I work with the solar rishis. Like I said, Satya Sai Baba, Mahatavar Babaji, and this whole lineage. Paramsa Yogananda, Shri Yukteswar, Aurobindo, and others, right? To overlay the consciousness of those families in those higher positions, who were kind of drawn into the whole satanic agenda. So, as I already mentioned, I do have the lineage of the elite, of the cabal, right, the Illuminati, of the Rothschild, okay, the royalty, right, and they turn into the mafia, the black nobility family. So we are turning the table, right? Even the cosmic cycle is turning, right? Even the Nazi Germany, or Adolf Hitler, right? He is kind of connected. People, so many things represents the swastika, that swastika represents that kind of stuff. Again, all hijacking of the solar rishis sacred geometry, right? It was all perversion reversals running the metatronics of those negative aliens, and even Adolf, what first of all, that's not his last name, correct last name, right? And that's what happens when somebody like who's got the Nazi DNA, right, is infiltrated by those negative aliens, Orion group. That's what happened when so many people right know what's so-called Adolf did this, Adolf did that. So I have different translation, and just kind of different story behind that, because as a child growing up, and my grandfather, right, he was drifted to, that's my father's side, to Nazi Germany, working for the Nazis, who know what, also, death camp, concentration camp. He would never ever speak of his experiences. He had a book of Adolf Hitler, the Third Reich, and also he had all these books. Oh my God! And his entire library was books about World War II. And so I know that the mind has been hijacked from some of the royalty, right? The royalty, and they were doing horrible things. But it was actually those negative aliens were doing all these horrible things through somebody like Adolf Hitler. Okay, so when I was growing up, I knew there's a twist to it. There's not correct, because I have the connection to those you call it the Jews, or the elite, the Bilderberg, the German aristocracy, and all these kind of things. And I knew that that's not correct. I would even say that grandfather knew that, as my grandfather knew that as well. I know that Adolf was also tortured, right? And we talk about this other entity, Aleister Crowley. So again, there's so many things behind it. So I'm encouraging everybody to really dive deep within, get the soul connection going, because then you get all these downloads, and you know what is truth and what is not, because the kingdom of heaven is within. And I'm just talking about those kind of things because that's kind of my story, the karma that I inherited. Okay, like I said, I've been dealing with it for almost five decades. I didn't understand what was going on. God had a different plan for me. I wanted to be a diplomat and interpreter, working for the United Nations. I was into business and stock market. I knew this whole thing was very easy for me, how to do all these tradings there on stock market. But again, another karma kicked in, the ancestral karma, right? And the entire planet, and I would say the karma of the world too. And what the Nazis and the entire the bloodline, what was done, what they did, but also the negative aliens actually were able to do all these horrible things through those Nazis who were infiltrated by the negative aliens. I grew up as a child, just grew up watching these the Russian movies, movies, how many Russians died during the World War II, or the Nazis. That was a Catch-22 movie. I still remember that, guys. There are so many lies and deceptions behind it. Not everything is how it seems to be. So what you see is not what you see. Pretty much here, half of what you hear. That's why we need to do the inner work, the transformational work, and get those downloads. Okay, connection to the good ETs, benevolent ETs. They have everything, all the data stored on their mothership, right, on their starships, so they know. And so those who are on a mission and who have the pure connection to the divine, who are doing the work, right, we're being downloaded and upgraded. This is not an easy assignment that I am dealing with, especially also military, and having was a contact or contract also with the Zetas, and also the history, everything that happened to them. And remember, they're also good Dracos. They're very spiritual, very disciplinary, and following God's law, God's will. So again, that's why we have good people, right? There are people of goodwill, and there are people of not goodwill. It's we have good Nazis, bad Nazis. We have the elite, or we have the nobility family of the positive faction, negative faction. We have the AI, right? We have the organic AI, we have the inorganic AI, right? So those are on the Christos mission. Okay, so we are here to resurrect the bloodline as well. Okay, cleanse it, clear it, purify it, and somebody needs to cut that cycle, right? Because we were in that vicious cycle. My dad always was saying, we're cursed, we're cursed. And I knew he was speaking the truth, but at the same time, what is he talking about? And now, I understand more and more those who are of that Anunnaki bloodline, right? And whether it's from Nibiru or, and then just kind of, we have extremely highly advanced mind, or higher mind. We're extremely intelligent, and those, unfortunately, even those German scientists also were infiltrated and just couldn't really be truthful to themselves. That's kind of what I am also getting at, that so many of us, or of my bloodline, we were hexed, and all this sorcery, all this black magic, okay, damaging our DNA, our Christos bloodline, because the pure races, the Magi Grail, right, the pure royalty, guys, we carry that Christos bloodline, the Christ, okay, also of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, okay, and of the Pleiadians, of those pure bloodline, whether from the Pleiadians, from the Syrians, okay, and the pure Masonics, not the, again, infiltration of the Masonic symbol, and running the reversals and practicing sodomy and pedophilia and being involved in child sex trafficking off and on world, right? And all these psychopaths everywhere, this whole narcissistic kind of thing, guys, it must be now difficult for everybody, not only people who are like suffering, or they're in those war kind of zone countries around them, and people who are struggling financially. This is a whole big thing going on, whole big disclosure and exposure on all those levels. No stone unturned. The inner work extremely important. We cannot correct things from that consciousness that those things were happening. And as you know, the Dracos with their psychic abilities, running the base 10 mathematics, right? We need to even go beyond that. That's why those who are the pure channel, pure energy, doing that cleansing, clearing, purification, connection with the solar rishis, are true Christos founders, the solar dragons, right? We're doing whatever we can step by step with the transformation, with the disclosure, with the exposure. And that's why the Guardian Protocol also involves studying universal laws, as we're aligning, right, with God's law, God's will, not my will, by done be done. The Lord's Prayer, I'm saying usually in Aramaic because it's a much more universal translation, and I love the originality from Aramaic to English. And is a Dr. Neil Douglas Klotz, abwoon.org. It's abwoon.org. He even has some videos 10 years ago that you can see his interpretation, translation of the Abunda Bashmaya, the Lord's Prayer. That's why I couldn't really read the book, the Bible, because I just simply didn't resonate with it. It doesn't mean that it's there's no judgment, no criticism, but I never resonated with that book. I always resonated with the rishis, with doing the yoga, and then how I got kind of connected, and the pure connection with Yeshua. Here people call him Jesus, but from it's Isa, Yeshua, through a reading book from Elizabeth Clare Prophet, right? She wrote all kinds of books, and there's also this Russian scientist who also reported Jesus or Yeshua's journey to Himalaya. So he went to Far East. He's a yogi. He was a yogi. He's a yogi. He's an ascended master. Okay, and the yoga meditation. He was invited to those Buddhist monasteries. He even studied with Buddhist monks. So when Yeshua's saying, it's not my work, but it's the work that I do through my Father, those are the Christos founder races. And that's kind of how I see things. This is what I resonate with. And guys, that's pretty much was everything from what I mentioned. The Ascension Guardian Protocol, right, for the new Earth. And so those, again, who resonate and who are advanced nature and who are the spiritual warriors, guys, we need to go back to our Father, to our Mother, Divine Parents, right, the Cosmic Christos Christ that is within us. And we need to do the work that we are assigned to, no matter what. It's not an easy. So, and I know I'm dealing with the elite, with the echelon. It is what it is, because I have the technology. Like I said, guys, we're dealing with ETs and with their technology, with the AI. And so studying also the field of neuroscience, and studying this other scientists like the Mick Anderson, right, talking about the intracorporeal network of nanocommunication. Remember, there is a technology outside themselves, like the DARPA robotics. I am also dealing with the intracorporeal, everything, whether through jabs, the guys in the military, whatever was implanted within us being chipped, right? And the mind control thing, okay? So we need to me, it's all about really understanding. Knowledge is power, understanding, and then know with spiritual tools how to work with it, how to transform it, transmute it. And it's really so important to be in your heart structure, loving yourself, forgiving yourself, and having that loving connection and contact or devotion, dedication to the divine, right? To our divine parents, our Christos founder races, good ETs, benevolent ETs with their extremely highly advanced technologies who are helping us. So there is hope, and there's also proof. There's so much proof, guys. And it's just all about tuning in and making those choices each and every day. And being outside or the protocol, guys, the spiritual drill, very important. Like I said, we cannot make those changes. We cannot make those changes from that kind of level of consciousness where that evil was created. And again, it was like the 10th dimension, 11th dimension from the Anunnaki or the fallen angelics. Okay, so again, this is just kind of explanation for those who are empath sensitives here, who are part of my cell group. I know military, Marines, right? Super soldiers, and so on. So star seeds, okay, star seeds. So this is what I've been going through, what I've been downloading, what I've been assessing, and just kind of, my mind extremely detailed and analyzing what I've been analyzing, guys. And again, my videos are for your empowerment. Really, it's all about to empower you, uplift you, and inspire you, expand your consciousness, even here entertain you. So only take what resonates with you, okay? We have this beautiful prayer from Lisa Renee here. Beloved God, I join my heart with all human crystal hearts that choose to align with the Holy Presence to form one heart, one body, one species, one race, and that in one voice our crystal heart tone is heard throughout the omniverses by all defender forces of God, right? Where the guardians and Christ that serve the one. We serve the one. We are going back to the emerald order for the liberation, ascension, and protection of the sovereignty of humanity on the earth. That's a beautiful prayer. I really love that prayer. Again, what else, guys? I have here for you the New Earth jurisdiction, right? Galactic Codex implementation. You can read it over and over and over because remember, of course, if you resonate with it, right? Because repetition, you build the momentum, and I can just feel it just doing those videos. What I am sharing this kind of information on the downloads and meditation, guys. That's how we are making the difference. We are moving forward and fulfilling the divine plan on earth. And of course, I have my assignment, like everybody else has their own assignment. So doing the inner work and really understanding your true nature and your mission. Why did you come here to this planet, right? What are your gifts and talents, and having the ET connection. That's how we'll restore peace on earth and make this world a better place, make America great again. And so let's go to the, let me see the laws. Because I was inviting you to study the law of correspondence. And it's just like how everything is interconnected. And how we have to pay attention to our thoughts. I mean, those were the warriors, and who are also part of the guardian team, and working with the crystal star family from the Andromeda. It's how important to just be in our pure state, watching our thoughts and feelings and emotions. For me, it's the surrender, guys. That's what I wanted to read to you. Okay, so when you said yes to me, and then this is the prayer of surrender. Okay. So I believe this is what the Asha was praying to the Holy Father, right? The work that I'm doing is through my Father. To surrender means to turn your thoughts away from troubles, to turn them away from difficulties you encounter and from all your problems. Leave everything into my hands, saying, Lord, thy will be done. Thou think of it. That is to say, Lord, I thank you, for you have taken everything in your hands, and you will resolve this for my highest good. So that's the prayer of surrender. There, of course, there are other paragraphs. I'm not that much in synchronized. And this is when you said yes to me, of course. So to me, it's like the work that I'm doing right now, surrender. I already mentioned in my videos, for us, it's to be here, guys. We come from extremely high dimensions. I mean, for me, only my mission is, and my contract, the project for the military, and of course my hybrid children. That's what is holding me here on this plane of existence, the physical, the material plane. Because the Galactics, even the Pleiadians or the R-Star, they know I'll be gone. I'll be gone. There are so many other universes, multiverses, so many beautiful planes of existence, okay? But anyway, is this what I wanted to say? Okay, when you said yes to me, so only when you give up totally, then the temptations will fade. I will never give up on you. Every slip will become harder to bear and less easy to remedy. You will tire. Oh, no. Hold on. There was something else I wanted to. When you said yes to you, gave me your body, your actions, your thoughts. Okay, so here, when you said yes to me, you gave up the right to be like everyone else. That is why you draw experiences to yourself that will cleanse yourself of that which does not fit who you are. So again, coming here to this planet, I always knew I'm different. I don't really fit here, right? I don't understand how people live here, right? Again, we come from those higher dimensions. My first 3 chakras were already transcended, right? That's why having a home, house, family here, that was never my story. I would always run away. That's not my game here. I don't like it. And so how come, Lord, How can I have this devotion, dedication over to the rishis? How come I'm being targeted? How come I'm being so ostracized? How come they even want to dispose of me? Who is doing all that? Okay. And so of course cleansing, clearing the family, the karma of my family, the bloodline, right? The ancestors who are in those higher places, the elite, the echelon. And so Lord, it's the connection to the divine, guys. For the spiritual warriors, it's you and God, pretty much. If you want to be a spiritual warrior, it's just you and the Lord. And also I remember even from my past lives being a ninja or a samurai. Whatever I did, because you pretty much, without God's permission, you cannot even chop somebody else's head, right? You cannot really kill. I would always sing praises to the Lord. Okay? And the other thing I was talking about, guys, we have that spark within us. There's this spot that nobody can touch. So even though, you're being murdered or people are being killed, your soul never dies, remember? And so very important, your last thought, because how you finish the exit here in this material plane, your next incarnation, reincarnation will start with the same thought that you ended. Did you understand that? So when you think of God, that's how you're dying. You'll be born and you'll be thinking of God. That's why so many souls are trapped, or they were trapped in those astral planes. They were lost, confused, or mind controlled, or they were so traumatized they even lost the perception of their identity. They didn't know who they were. So that's why all this spiritual work, also on the astral plane, all these portals opening, especially of the souls of those children who were murdered and tortured for adrenochrome. Okay. Over and over again, until I make you see that the past no longer works. I challenge you and tempt you every day with your past, so that you may see that the past is ultimate delusion. Being in your heart, being in the now. Again, there are other paragraphs I don't agree with. Again, like the same thing with Lord's Prayer in English, I don't agree with. Like, Lord is not tempting us, lead us into temptation. So there are all kinds of lures, all kinds of traps here. But the Lord is saying, right, or how I interpret it, if you always stay with me, I will always protect you. I will let you know. The downloads of your soul will let you know where to go and not to go, guys. Here, those of us, we took the road, the less traveled road, the narrow path. Those like us, we took the road of less travel, okay? And that's why I focus on that inner work, because we need to, again, strengthen our core, the powers within, for the spiritual warriors, right? Those here who came here to have that human experience and really help with the transition. This is a tremendous huge big assignment that we are doing, and it's not easy. Okay, so that was connection to the divine, connection to your holy parents, Holy Mother, Holy Father is the key. So the law of correspondence, guys. The universal law of correspondence shows us that which is expressed from the inner world is matched in what expresses in the outer world, and of course vice versa. So to me, right, the external world was always full of chaos. I was not identifying with it, all this pollution, all this interesting, like you have to go to a doctor, you have to go to school. Who is organizing all that? Now you have to be part of that Communist Party, right? Those so-called parents arguing in the kitchen. These cars, strange cars. How come we don't have levitating cars? It's like at least in the Wonderland here. Okay, now all this Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse Disney, that there were the underground bunkers, children there for the harvesting adrenochrome, child sex trafficking. Guys, the energy, if those who are really empath sensitives, we feel all that. Also coming over here to United States, what in the world? All these banking industries and all these religions, this church, Baptist church, Presbyterian church, non-denomination church, and those who were in high positions, those bankers, I know that they were abusing marijuana. I mean, we read energies, guys, and even like with the military, whatever happened, everything is scanned, everything is monitored. Like I said, the bad guys were monitoring and doing horrible things on humanity with all these experimentations. But also you see the good guys, with their good, the benevolent ones, the benevolent ETs with their highly technologies, right? We had to arrest all that, and implementing the Galactic Codex. Everything is going to divine justice, right? The cosmic trials are happening. Those who are part of that Light Alliance or the Galactic Alliance of those interdimensional, that's the free world, okay? So this is a cosmic galactic mission that we're upon here on this planet, and of course having human experience, and here for me also being in the body and working, right? But everything that was also done to me from military, everything needs to be addressed. It needs to be transformed, transmuted. That's why I have the project for the military. And like I said, no stone unturned. And with the law of cause and effect, what goes around comes around, right? What goes around comes around. Everybody is now accounted for. Everybody's responsible, okay? And the Galactics, they know everything, right? We see you. We know you. Also, people who are watching my videos, do you understand that? I have connection to all these, whether ET races, to solar rishis. So what are you choosing, okay? Everything is known. Everything is, like I said, monitored, but for the good. So doing the inner work, the project, the protocol. Nobody's going to get away with anything. Nobody. And so on the spiritual path, our ultimate goal is to express more balance and symmetry between the layers of correspondence that we become aware of. So there's always a correspondence which can be observed in patterns between the natural laws of consciousness that exist simultaneously in the multiple dimensional planes of being of life. As above, so below as above. What is manifested in the material world reflects the quality of thought behind the pattern from the unmanifested layers. So what do you think? Now people are awakening, I guess, getting out of that trance, right? The big shift in consciousness is happening. And now, oh my God, where did I ended up? In what kind of place, relationship, how in the world, how I was thinking, not paying attention? How come I was not informed? So what do you think, what kind of mind was behind of all this that is now transpiring, and all these criminal activities and all these things that don't really make sense? There is some powerful mind, but of that inversion, right? Of that perversion, of dark forces with extremely highly intelligent mind. And of course, technology being at their disposal that they took advantage of. Total abuse of highly advanced technology. Just guys, a food for thought. Guys, this principle also states that there is a correspondence between multiple planes of reality. And we talk to a four-body system, but also it is the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual plane, not only here in our here in this kind of hologram, right, concerning yourself, but also has to do with your microcosm, macrocosm. The macrocosm is the collective, on the collective level, and the microcosm is the individual level. Okay, so it is extremely kind of complex, complicated, right? The inside, the outside, everything has to be kind of integrated, looked at it. And through that inner work, we can harmonize those energies, heal ourselves, transform, and do the work, right? The service work for others. That's the humanitarian projects and being of service. So if we want to understand more about the causal reality and events happening around us, we look at the macrocosm to the microcosm, the microcosm to the macrocosm. and we observe the interconnections and patterns that are present there. To understand the nature of problems and life lessons, we look beyond the linear thinking of the issue. Instead, we look at what exists in the energetic layers that created it. Reading energies, guys, that's the key. Now, fake it till you make it is not going to work with these energies. Now you can even see the clones or who is cloned there and saying something that makes your common sense, okay, in those higher places or political arena or so on. Right? Like we had the Davos group, the meeting in Switzerland. So, and you to see the patterns and the shadows of what generated that situation. But first we have to transmute our shadow. So then we can see clearly. That's why so many people are projecting, or so many people, they're being triggered, or so many people like the screaming, shouting because they're in pain, and they're asking actually for help in very unprofessional way. But it's so many people think that I'm kind of dumb or stupid at work, that I don't understand. Those girls are making fun that I don't understand. I'm scanning their energies. I am like, okay, you're telling me this, but I go way up there and trying to make sense out of it for me so that I can do it the way I resonate with. This is a complicated kind of thing, guys. And I know there was a teacher of math in was it in high school? He knew, Yana, I know that you work differently. I was not much understanding, I'm not a math or scientist anyway, but I said, yes, I have to process it my way, and then I finally get what you are teaching, and I finally, get the same result, whether it was the mathematical formulas, kind of the arithmetics, maybe a little bit like the simple calculus thing. But I said, no, I have to process that information my way. And people think I don't understand what they're telling me. No, it's just I have a different operational system. And I think it's also like for the military or the mind control or the Marines, there was the jarheads or things like that. It kind of seems I'm very simple and they can take over my consciousness, but then it's like I go higher, higher, and higher. And it takes time for me, guys, to analyze everything, because we go, like here, people are here, right? And to me, we already had realization of our soul. This is not a big deal. I already came here, born like this, with the 7 strands of DNA being activated, the Hall of Amenti, right? Connection to Saint Germain, the violet flame, right? And here we go. We were the column of light shining bright. We already back then in mid-70s, I know the galactic portals were already open, the stargates, and so I had the connection with the solar rishis, because as a child growing up, they were telling me we're going back to source, we're going back to God, to the divine blueprint, right, to that original cosmos. And it's like okay, and working with the solar rishis. So it doesn't mean when I'm like this and looking and people think that I don't understand them. No, I'm processing all the layers, all the energies, okay? And it's like we just think differently. So that's why to mind control me, right? It's simply not possible, because if your consciousness, if your awareness, if you have connection to the divine, to source, to Father, Mother, God, if you're connected to the cosmic heart of our creator, and of course the crystal core of Mother Earth, Mother Nature, right? You're the column of light shining bright. You are invincible. You're not penetrable. You're untouchable. And you immediately report, look what they're doing, right? That's why we have the Galactic Codex. We see things. They see us. We see you, right? Or you're breaking the law. Who is doing this? Because remember, this also is a game. All these tricks, all these lies, all these deceptions. Everybody's playing their games. We're in families, relationships. We can see all that. It's just like we burst the bubble, like woo, right? The goddess Kali kicks in, comes in. And then Holy Father, Holy Mother. Pure consciousness, pure awareness. So those who've been initiated, in this kind of art, that's why we were dealing with the That's with the dark art. We were training dark arts, guy. But for that, in order to reverse it, transform it, transmute it, guess what? You have to be a pure source. You have to be the infinite. You have to have this love connection to the divine, the loving, the unconditional love, and then having compassion. If you also want to be in that part of the divine jurisdiction, you have to understand the universal laws. You have to understand yourself, where you're coming from, and you have to be initiated, right? Through the Christos found the races. And also connection to the law of karma. You see there are the lords of karma. Saturn, right? Planet Saturn. There's this negative faction of Saturn, but they're actually very strict. Those who are on the tantric path, and like Ahura Mazda, the Zoroastrianism, right? Because we're awakening the DNA of those Magi Grail kings and queens. And there used to be in northern Iran, I think it was Iran or Iraq, the Magi Grail lineage, the mystics, no satanic. See, that's the perversion of the negative ones. And unfortunately, I am dealing with my soul group who ended up in satanic organizations and also in terroristic organizations. So, and of course, they're running the reversals and they're mind controlled because their brain was overtaken by AI. So this is a huge, big operation that is happening, guys. And I am just kind of talking about it just to give you an idea, to expand your consciousness. It is not easy. It's really not easy what we are doing. But somebody gotta do it. So, if you want to see the accumulated thought forms that have created an organization, if you want to reverse engineer something that has manifested, we'll look for the correspondence. We'll look at how that thing was created by observing the micro to the macro, or macro to the micro, the influence of the system of energy that was co-created and the motivations that are behind it. The law of correspondence informs us of the original intent and quality of thought forms that were used to co-create a manifestation in which we can observe causality through the mirror of reality. In this way, it is very similar to the basic comprehension of the law of attraction. And so that was the see, I talk about the new celestial direction in the cosmic time cycle forming to the king queen mandala of the crown of the Magi, the Ionic pair and type of cosmic celestial time calendar opens up into infinity, or the 360 worlds. Anyway, there's so much here. All the guardians of the east, there's the star Aldebaran. So the law of attraction for service, that's what it is. We need to reverse the service to self, all these harmful, right? They were part of the negative ones, that all these harmful actions, involving criminal activities. Right now we have to reverse all that. That's why the ahimsa, being committed to ahimsa, which is do no harm, non-harmfulness, right? And being the warrior of light, of truth and justice, you have to be one with the divine. And so all this cleansing, clearing, purification, extremely important. So that was the law of correspondence, guys. Let me see. We, of course, started with the law of mentalism, which is the law of one. And that's the law of cosmic sovereign law of unity. And also it says that it's all connection. We have connection with the universal mind. Like the universal mind is all knowingness, like everything is being known, everything is being, so there are no secrets. How people think, oh, the secret here or secret there, top secret, and all these kind of things. Like when you go into these energies, you merge, you study, you educate yourself, you have downloads, you're the consciousness, awareness, the cosmos at the divine timing will bring it to you right in front of you. You can read so-called secret. It's no secret. Okay. So and it's subjected to the law of structure. So we have the divine architecture, you know, with all these corrections happen in the galactic core, the galactic center, and also with that sacred geometry, the math now running the base. Of course, we have the base 10 mathematics running the light codes. It's been all corrected, okay, and so that's why so many things are surfacing and so many things are evident because of all the corrections. Right, we're correcting all the corruption. We're bringing everything right side up. Even the star of the Pleiadians, right, was inverted, and the Satanist was worshiping the, what is it, the Set, right? The Satan, or Satan is the Satan. I don't even know how to pronounce it. And how come, like in the military back then, this cult was allowed? The cult Temple of Set. There was some kind of lieutenant colonel. And those who are coming up with the humanitarian projects, right, whether for military, wounded warriors, or veterans with yoga, Ayurveda. So this was promoted, that cult was promoted there, practiced so many decades. And those who are here coming, guys, that all needs to be corrected. Let's go back to God. Let's go back to the light divine. We're being targeted or executed. Ostracized, right? That's, we talk about the reversals, and now people, right, lost and confused. They don't even know who is who. Here, guys, you're invited. I'm giving you all the tools here. No more showing fingers here, or judging, or crying over the spilled milk, because also the transformation of America, like I've been teaching for especially for those 2 years. I started with the activation of the crystalline grid, and now you're walking on the beach back in January 2020. There was the Capricorn, was it the new moon or the portal? I remember that, guys. And now things are happening, transpiring. Also, you know, I talk about, you know, for me, Ganesh, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, is the healer, remover of obstacles. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, chanting, japa mantra meditation, part of that protocol. Whether for the military or spiritual warriors, Indigo warriors, you know, because we're doing the work, positive affirmations, right? You can find some of that stuff on my website, yanakalai.com, under services. That's the invocation of the violet flame, I am affirmation. And I'm sure there are other videos. I chant Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha and Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Shiva. Right? Shiva Shiva, the dancing Shiva, not the inverted version. See? Like they would, the Cabal would, like, with the invert everything, because they have the technology, like I said, of the Dracos. They can even move planets. Okay? And so what they were inverting, it was the current of life, the sacred, through the sacred geometry. And also our DNA was, that's why the DNA damage. We need to rehabilitate our DNA, the bioregenesis, and we need to deprogram, because the way people think, that's why I have hardly any friends, or I have nobody to talk to, because people lost touch with their pure mind, with their sacred mind, with their divine essence. And so people are gargling some kind of regurgitating things that are not even of that organic reality, right? That's why all this deprogramming, all this rewiring, all this cleansing, clearing, purification, to me, all this inner work, because how can you create that new reality with this old thinking, with the having pain in your heart, and with the damaged DNA and being mind controlled, and all these, let me see, all these trackers here and devices, right? That track us, alter us, torment us, attack us, abuse us, infect us, or harm us, right? No, we are consciousness. You know, we are awareness. We're all that is. I am God. I'm sovereign. I'm free. I'm the eternal God self. I'm child of God. So, okay, there's a process in that. And guys, also my videos, like I say, is for, you know, also for the elite, you know, the Anunnaki. I mean, that they have extremely highly advanced intelligence. They're extremely intelligent. You know, the high intellect. But, you know, that service for self, right? With all this harmful intentions, right? We need to correct all that. Be service to others and being harmless. Ahimsa. Do no harm. If you want to be a spiritual warrior, return back to light, to source. So lots of healing needs to happen. And all is pretty much, whether it's referred to the mind of God or the mind of all, this is the pure consciousness of infinite intelligence that expresses its principle through natural laws, spiritual laws that govern our creation. So again, our creation happens through those divine laws. Do you understand the natural laws? Are you aligning yourself with those natural laws? Do you embody them? Not the man-made, arbitrary, 3D kind of precepts with their draconian measurements, running the reversals and influenced by the Satanists and Luciferians in the entire infrastructure. And those who wanted to raise the frequency vibration, help with the planet, right? They were immediately attacked, hijacked, right? Talk about JFK, Marilyn Monroe, Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi. JFK even wanted to, he was shutting down the Federal Reserve. Because the Dracos back then, the 1980s, the Jekyll Island, we're the corporation. We're the elite. We're the God. We're the gods with the small g. The false gods. The false king of tyranny. The crown of England. All this mafia, monarchy of this inverted faction. Worshipping Satan. I don't even know how to pronounce it, okay? Satan. The temple of Set in military in Pentagon here, right? The military was infiltrated also by the mafia, Khazarian mafia, and worshipping the proxy Israel. It means the god of the inverted version. They were worshipping the false gods, the Satanists, Luciferians. So the awakening is not happening, right, on that individual plane, but collective way, planetary. Even the elite are having awakening. And they have to be very careful, especially if they signed contract or oath with those negative aliens, with their negative alien agenda, with the controlling group, that they are still sticking to their narrative, the New World Order, and having humanities as batteries and turning us into transhumans and transgenders. And siphoning energy from us and just being just the cattle and just slave. So they can enslave the entire galaxy, Milky Way. That's what they did, but not the 15 universal time matrix that was designed by the solar rishis, crystal dragons. Christos, cosmic Christos dragons. Okay. Okay, with the crystalline, of course, crystalline DNA. That's what we're returning to, our crystalline self, our pure self, our divinity. No drinking. Of course, some people still have addiction, but this is, guys, this is not normal. If you're going to work, working hard, and then you're drinking, smoking, or, parties, whatever, tailgating, eating, the steak, red meat, you're going to restaurants. We are pure consciousness, okay? We are more than that. And that we already had those civilizations of ancient Egypt, Atlantis and Lemuria. We're going back to those timelines, ancient timelines, the ancient technology, living in peace, right? We're entering the new golden age in Aquarius, being revolutionary, right? Independent, living communities, in unity with ETs, with their highly advanced technology that are helping us with the liberation, with the ascension, with all this cleansing, clearing, purification of our air, atmosphere, water, food, soil, our bodies, right? The crystal med beds that take on technology. I'm just giving information. I'm just informing you guys and entertaining you. Do what you want with it, right? Take only what resonates with you, leave the rest. All things are made of intelligent energy that are expressed through the energetic substance, frequency, vibration, blueprint, and an active power of motion which takes direction from the instruction set forth and created from the mind. All things are created from a state State of mind. That's why they're targeting our mind. So then we are miscreating everything and misperceive everything and judging people and putting them in a prison. And you want diseases for them and you want a death for them. That's the programming, guys. They even programming part of my family. Somebody didn't like me. Oh, I sending all the diseases to me. I mean, but it was back then. It was a long time ago, right? Guys, this is not going to work. We are all being monitored. We are all being watched. Even I can see the AI, the firmament as the sky, the spaceships, spacecrafts everywhere. And who is who? And what are you creating? What are you projecting? Because if you are projecting and think about bright future, good vibes, you're connecting to the good deities. And if you're sticking to that, again, narrative, that agenda of the negative ones, the New World Order, and you want to control and, power hunger and control over others and all this manipulation, all this greed, ooh, the negative ones like it. Oh, then you're part of their group. Oh, let's go to the metaverse and let's become transhuman. But you still have that human DNA. So we suck as much energy from you as possible and damage your DNA. So you just become a clone, just a walking zombie. We're dealing with AI now. This is a serious now thing going on, guys. So some laughter is a good thing. A quality of thought, that which has been co-created within a system of energy such as planetary consciousness. Everything that we observe in the manifested world are the result of a mental state, belief system that has preceded it. Belief system. Hardly resonated, with this 3D belief system, all this dogma, the low thinking, low frequency, low vibration. Just being in your heart. You're a child of God. The 3D mind needs to go, needs to be ejected. The negative ego, transformed, transmuted. The pineal gland with the pituitary gland, decalcified, purified. And that's how you open yourself to the divine, to your multidimensionality, writing down your dreams and your ideas for the bright future. How do you want to live your life? What is your passion? What are your hobbies? What do you really love to do? What gives you joy? What gives you upliftment? What raises your vibe so then you can join those like-minded people or the soul group and just create these beautiful communities, right? And working on those projects and just feel that unity and peace and happiness, the pursuit of happiness, right? Those are rights. Study the Galactic Codex, right? The law of grace. We have the right for ascension, whether interstellar, galactic, right for physical and spiritual abundance, right for all information, the right to meet our soul group, our star family, galactic family, and of course we have the right for sovereignty and freedom. And also knowing our truth, our original history, cosmic earth history, galactic history. So when an individual observes the interaction of thoughts within thoughts and neutrally observes all thoughts and actions, this law begins to be understood and applied to personal well-being and spiritual growth. Observe, watch, being in your heart, in your center. It is critical to master this law first in order to influence all other natural laws, as the mental plane has the ability to influence what happens in multiple dimensional planes all simultaneously. That's why you see I'm here, guys. I'm doing my mission, because if I was mind controlled, there would be of no point of continuing my mission and being even alive. And also, so many people are also emotional. I'm extremely mental. So the mind needs to be purified. It has to be in a purity of state, because that's how we can also balance our emotions. So many guys I'm kind of meeting, or it's part of my soul group, they're extremely emotional. And if you're emotional, be an artist, be a musician, being emotional and joining military, or some of them because they were drafted, or they're just all this programming, conditioning. You have to have a strong mind. But unfortunately, those of the Anunnaki, right, or the Nazis with very powerful, strong mind, if we were hypnotized by the Dracos or the reptiles, right, of the negative action, and they were abusing their highly advanced technology, it means they were attacking us, right? The psychotronic weapons, directed energy weapons. They're already violating everything, right? They're violating that. That's why our frequency went down. That's why they had the power over us, the power also of some of the elite, the power of some of the Nazis, the power of some of the Anunnaki, because of the abuse and misuse of this kind of technology. Do you think, guys, you can put the Supreme Court, you can take these guys there and tell them that they're violating the human law of the right? Just think about it, right? I mean, they have their mind is extremely powerful. The hypnotism, they can terrorize you, or they can hypnotize you in a nanosecond. That's how powerful their mind is, okay? Plus with their highly advanced technology. That's why the work that I do, or we do, I know it looks like it's crazy, right? So that's why we deal with them differently. Even here on this earthly plane of existence, that's why the galactic law, the galactic codex, the divine law, guys, this is imminent. And those who are on the mission, the blue starborn, the blue flame, the indigo warriors, we have to embody those laws perfectly, 100%. But of course, we'll be tested, but the connection to the divine, to our Holy Father, Holy Mother, is extremely important, right? The heart connection. Love conquers all. Love, unity, purity, innocence. That's what we're returning to, guys. Okay? Transformation, transmutation of the negative ego, imminent. Here, the work that I do. Again, if you guys want to cooperate with me, communicate with me, have that contract and agreement, right? Because the project for the military is imminent as well, right? Helping my soul group, my tribe, those of that indigo nature, and indigo warriors, and we know each other also from Tara. That's the density number 2. That's the 4th dimension, 5th dimension, 6th dimension, right? Those who are on a Christos mission. We're saving those souls, beautiful souls who ended up, in those cult Skull and Bones, terroristic organizations, satanic organizations. Okay. And I cannot just do it physically, right? I have to understand the energies, and not only that, I have to be in my avatar self 100%, having that divine protection and connection to the divine. So our thoughts influence multiple planes within our own light body and in the outer realities. They have an energetic effect as well as spiritual effect, which we may not see with our visible eyes, but takes place in the subtle forces around us, permeating into multiple stations of identities and realities. Remember, we're not just the body, right? In those other dimensions, parallel realities, we actually are living other lives and even have different bodies or light bodies, very subtle bodies. Here, we need to synchronize all that, right? All the layers, all our higher selves or ourselves needs to be synchronized if we want to do the work. And of course, I work with those cosmic energies. Most like one with cosmos. That's what the cosmic prayer, cosmos, the prayer of cosmos, of, here the Father's prayer. That's I say it Aramaic, because that what resonates with me. The old Jewish, right? Yahshua was a Sufi. He was born in Middle East. There's the powerful grit, the golden eagle grit, right? That was also hijacked by those negative aliens. And that's how they were doing the mind control. Resurrecting all that, as we are resurrecting, or just bringing the new divine architecture, the new planetary network, the cosmic light grid, or all these frequencies, right? We're being inundated with those light codes, photonic light, guys. That's why craziness is happening, but at the same time, excitement is happening. For me, all these, what's the word for it? The precision of my perception, all these downloads, why I'm here, And I was why I was not, well, mind control, they're keeping this body alive even though it has nanotechnology technology within me, but that was surely already implanted when I was growing up, or as a child, or even in the womb. I was even tested or asked when I was 6 years old. And I think those the Galactics, they already probably knew the saw my energies, because I'm a walk. This is a walking right now. But they were asking Yana, would you join a military? I said no. We always knew that the guys in the military would say they're brainwashed, that their brain is erased. We call it like erased brains, vygumowane mozky. I said no, I would never join a military. See, I was already, you'll be entertaining rebels. It was told to me when I was 6 years old. Then of course I was getting all these updates, upgrades, the Galactics, the never-ending story. And there was a movie, right? Watching the Dirty Dance. And what else I wanted to say? Oh, are you going to, oh, they were asking Yana, how long are you going to live? I'm not going to live that long. I'd die in my 30, 35, 37. I don't want to be like an adult. I remember what, I still have a memory of Yana, right? But no, I'll die pretty soon. I'll die young, right? Young, kind of in your 30s, late 30s. It's still young, right? So it's very interesting, guys. Like all the now the downloads that I am getting, and all these precisions and all these revelations, or all these the aha moments, and everything is clicking, and so you start creating this beautiful picture of everything that's kind of been happening, and now what really transpires, and my mission, and who I really am, and how that was already arranged and pre-planned, right? Like the negative ones, they're also premeditated. All these the proxy wars, not even 9/11, and now we have to go to Middle East with all these wars because we need gas, but they have levitating cars and they have spaceships, spacecraft. Makes zero common sense, right? But the Men in Black, you have the Black Sun operations, the psyops, and all these things. So I'm just kind of giving you guys here this kind of my disclosure here today. Just kind of very, very interesting, because we're dealing with ETs, highly advanced technologies, walk-ins. It doesn't mean like you're walking to some what is it? Where you cut your hair, or spa services. Walk-ins are welcome. We also have a walk-ins here, the soul. One soul leaves, the contract is gone, another collective is coming in to fulfill the divine plan on earth, to continue whatever needs to be done. So like I said, this is a multidimensional, this is an interesting operation here going on, okay? And so comprehending this principle allows the spiritual seeker to apply their mental body functions to serve their highest expression, which influences all other natural laws and allows us to interact and interconnect with many other layers of intelligent energy. These are the consciousness aspects of other selves that exist in other dimensions, such as soul, monad, and avatar, right? These are other dimensions. So this is the soul, the monad, and the avatar. And here's just kind of the body, the 3D, right? The personality, the ego kind of thing going on. So that we need to liberate ourselves from that and just really realize ourselves, while being, of course, grounded here on the earth that is ascending, right? That's why connecting to the crystal core of Mother Earth, very important. As well as the intelligent aspects that exist within our physical, body, heart, and emotional layers. It is wise to remember thoughts are things. They are the seeds from which our garden grows, and in order to change the harvest, we must first plant new seeds. Our thoughts are things. So what are we projecting? What are we putting out there, guys? Now with the ETs everywhere, the AI going on, right? Like I said, even the phone communicates with me. Important just to focus on those noble divine thoughts, connecting to that universal mind, the mind of God. And being in our heart, loving ourselves unconditionally. The path of the rose, the Holy Mother, Holy Father, it's Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. Sacred rose. You know, the rose has many thorns, right? You can cut yourself very easily or you can bleed. But look at the beauty of the flower of the rose. Mystica. You're the mystic, if you understand what I'm saying. You have the divine connection with the one. I mean, you have the connection with cosmos, with God, and you are the beloved. Only you and God. Okay, my beloveds, that's all for today. Many blessings and namaste. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.